Your brain isn't lazy, it's strategically avoiding your success. The second something feels hard, your brain goes, let's scroll. We'll start later. Tomorrow sounds perfect. And just like that, it never happens. Not because you're lazy, but because your brain is wired to protect comfort at all costs. But what if you could flip that switch? What if your brain stopped running from hard things and started craving them? In the next few minutes, you're going to rewire how your brain sees difficulty, to the point where hard things feel easier than doing nothing. And it starts with something your brain has been hiding from you this whole time. Here's something that will surprise you. Motivation doesn't show up before you start, but it shows up after. Your brain has been lying to you, telling you to wait until you feel ready, but ready never comes. Big goals feel scary not because they're hard, but because your brain looks at something huge and thinks, I can't see how this ends, so I'm not starting. So stop showing your brain the whole mountain. Show it one single step, not I'll study for 2 hours, but just I'll open the book, not I'll get fit, but just I'll put on my shoes. Something interesting happens the moment you do it. You're 5 minutes in, then 20, then an hour deep, and you never even felt yourself start. But that's what happens when you stop asking your brain to leap and start asking it to just move. Right now, your brain sees hard work like a bad trade. You give energy now, but maybe something good happens later. Your brain looks at that deal and quietly walks away. But that's not laziness. That's just how brains work. They live in the present. They care about now. So every time you finish something hard, give yourself something small and immediate. A snack you love, a short walk, 10 minutes of something fun. Not someday. Now. Because here's what's actually happening. You're teaching your brain a new story. Every repetition quietly moves hard work from the folder labeled pain into the folder labeled this leads to something good. And the day that shift is complete, effort stops feeling like a wall, but it starts feeling like a door. Willpower isn't a personality trait, but it isn't a superpower either. It's like a phone battery. Starts full and drains with every decision you make. Every time you debate whether to start. Every time you negotiate with yourself. The battery drops. But here's what changes everything. The people who seem effortlessly disciplined, they're not stronger than you, but they've built their life so willpower is barely needed at all. Phone in another room before temptation hits. Workspace set up the night before. Decision already made before the day starts. They don't fight the easy option, but they remove it entirely because your brain will always choose the easiest available thing. But if the easiest available thing is the right thing, you win without even trying. This part is different because it's not about your habits or your environment, but it's about something sitting quietly underneath all of it. Most people don't avoid hard things because they're uncertain, but they avoid them because of one secret belief they don't even know they have. That struggling means something is wrong, that if this was really meant for you, it would feel easier by now. So they quit, but not at the hardest moment, right before it, every single time. But here's what that belief is stealing from you. Every person who ever built something real went through a stretch where it felt exactly like it feels for you right now. Pointless. Heavy. But the only difference between them and the version of you that stops isn't talent, but it's this. They learn to read difficulty as a signal pointing forward. Hard doesn't mean wrong, but hard means you're standing right at the border of who you used to be. If you're telling yourself, I need to be more disciplined, your brain hears, I'm not the kind of person who does this yet. And once it believes that, quitting feels expected. Slipping up feels forgivable. But watch what happens when you shift just one thing. Instead of, I'm trying to work out, say, I'm someone who moves every day. Instead of, I'm attempting to read, say, I'm a reader. It will feel like a lie at first, but say it anyway. Because here's what identity does that habits never can. When your actions don't match who you believe you are, your brain gets uncomfortable, and it fixes itself. Not because you forced it, but because it's protecting who you are. Habits break the second motivation drops, but identity doesn't break because it's not something you do, but it's something you are. You haven't been failing because something is wrong with you. But you've been losing a game whose rules nobody ever explained. Now you know how it works. Difficulty isn't a stop sign anymore, but it's an arrow, pointing exactly where you need to go. The version of you that does hard things isn't far away, but they're one quiet decision ahead of where you are right now, made today, when nobody is watching. When your brain says stop, and you take one small step forward anyway, that's where you begin.